All right. What does a great reference mix look like to you? Headroom, peaks, LUFS, intersample peaks.
Yeah.
In that regard.
It depends on the genre, obviously, but I mean, the song I use constantly to like calibrate my monitors is "Already Dead" by Beck.
Okay.
It's got really low subs, really high highs, but really beautiful highs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a mellow song, but it's a beautiful song. It has beautiful dynamics, yet it's loud. It's like full range, like it just has everything in it. I think like a song without harshness has like really beautiful bass, like round, beautiful bass, is a perfect reference for me. You know, it's like, there's like so many masters by like Ted Jensen from Sterling Sound, Craig Calby, like these Sterling Sound guys, there's like these old school guys, and like there's older ones by Doug Sachs and Bernie Grunman. These guys are like, are the best of the best because of their pedigree, but you got to kind of go back, because I think a lot of mixes these days are like a lot of mixes they're maybe getting are like kind of ready to go. They're done. So they're just doing like little tweaks here and there. But if you go back where you really hear that mastering, and obviously Bob Ludwig is one of the best of all time. Obviously, like that Beck album, I don't know what it sounded like before it was mastered, but I feel like you can really hear the mastering in that album and a lot of those albums. And I know that one came in on 1-inch 2-track tape.
Okay.
I have a 1/2-inch 2-track tape, same machine over there. This Area Electronics, really great stuff. But it's just like it makes like, when I can hear the mastering, but I think everyone else, what makes it so great is you don't hear them. They don't hear the mastering. They just hear beautiful sound. I'm not an audiophile, right? So I don't look for recordings that are like pristine and perfect. I want those mistakes, right? But something that just makes you relax. You don't have to think about the engineering, It's like a movie.
Right.
If you don't have to think this person's acting, then they're a great actor.
Yeah, you got to believe it.
So it's the same thing. If you don't hear the engineering, because too many engineers, and I've said this before, but too many engineers try to impart their sound, or too many mastering engineers do. And I really don't try to impart a sound. I try to just bring out what's already there.
All right. How do you prepare a master so it stays strong and future-proof across evolving streaming services, device formats?
It's a really good question, actually. Well, you think about, all the different formats are the same, really. Sorry, all the different streaming formats are the same. They're just higher res and lower res, right? It doesn't hurt to like listen to what it's going to sound like on Spotify. We have software that can do that. Spotify is, as of this date, is still fairly compromised. They have released a uncompressed Spotify.
Oh, really?
It just came out, yeah.
Oh.
But it's limited to 24-bit 44.1. Interesting enough, because a lot of masters, most high-res masters go out at 48 kilohertz.
Right.
So you are going to get some sample rate conversion, which does have a sound on Spotify. I haven't heard Spotify uncompressed yet. But for the most part, Apple and Tidal and all the others are uncompressed, and you can play them back as uncompressed. Most people still play them back as compressed. I think just like being knowledgeable about dither and knowing how dither affects, down processing, and being aware of Atmos. We don't do Atmos here, but how Atmos is going to affect everything, and trying to make it not too loud. I don't think these super loud, like 6 LUFS, 5 LUF recordings are going to be very future-proof. But sometimes you hear an album or a song, a single, and it's like 5 LUFS is exactly where it should be.
Right.
Just good engineering in a good song. Well, a good song first and foremost, but a good engineering will be future-proof. But fixing problems are going to make it future-proof too.
Okay, cool. What makes a song hard to master, and what are some ways you use to
Like a
overcome
recording,
that?
what makes it hard to master?
Yeah.
Well, phase issues.
Mm-hmm.
And I stress the phase issues because people aren't monitoring in mono, and I don't think they fully like younger and or less experienced engineers don't fully understand phase. They will hear they'll load up a patch on a synthesizer, or pan guitars, maybe not hard pan them or partially pan them and not really check the mono. So I get a lot of guitars that are in mono either sound completely different or actually cancel out. And trying to explain that to people and explain what phase is.
Right.
And they just don't understand because they're like, listen, it sounds great to me. It's exactly the way I want it to sound. I'm like, well, and I tell them, you don't get to decide how someone listens to this back. So if they're listening on a mono Bluetooth speaker, I'll give them a mono version. I'll say, this is what it's going to sound like. And they're like, well, this sounds like shit. They're like, fix it. I'm like, I can't fix it without also changing the stereo version. It's not, your guitars are going to change. If I go in there and try to fix which is difficult in mastering, but you can do it. You try to fix the phase of the guitars. It's going to change the sound dramatically. It's so. I mean, obviously, the cure to that is don't make your guitars go out of phase. Don't make anything go out of phase. It's not you need some out of phase to for stereo image. But if you're 180 degrees out of phase on something, it will cancel in mono. It will completely disappear.
Yeah.
And oftentimes it will disappear, but the reverb won't. So you hear the reverb of the guitars, but not the guitars anymore. So problem that's been around for ages is not knowing how your sub sounds. Because a lot of people mix in, I just got a pair of NS10s just to get them. And I hooked them up and I'm like, whoa, I can't believe I can't hear it. There's nothing under 100 hertz. And people mixed on these, and it's so knowing what your sub sounds like is pretty important. And just a pair of headphones will help with that. So, because sometimes your sub can be so tubby and so loud and people are like, well, why is my mix distorting? And I'm like, because your sub and your kick is so loud, it's distorting everything.
So would you recommend correction systems? I know IK Multimedia has the ARC, right? Would you recommend that for home
but it's still
studios?
not going to play a sub on a speaker that doesn't have it. I would recommend getting a good pair of subby headphones, like a Beats or something like that, that you can just monitor, listen to it and know what a sub. If you don't have a sub, know what a sub sound will sound like, because you don't want to eat up your mix. And if you can't hear it, you don't know how much you're adding.
Right.
Sometimes because you can't hear it, you're just adding a bunch of sub to make up for that. And then by the time it gets in here, when I get to hear down to, 20 something hertz in here, that sub is huge, and I'm having to cut it. And you can hear it in higher frequencies when you cut it. So as monitoring systems go home, more and more home, you got to make sure you can hear what your music's going to sound like.
Yeah. So that actually leads me to a question here. I know you've been doing this for a long time. Maybe you don't use reference tracks, but if you were to recommend people, right, sitting in the studio, what are some translation checks before sort of signing off? What just take it a day, listen everywhere?
I use reference tracks whenever I'm doubting myself, especially if I'm like doubting my own ability that day, like to hear what I'm hearing. Is Same Old Love by Selena Gomez.
Oh, okay.
It has the lowest lows and the highest highs, and they are pushing, especially in the choruses, they're pushing the boundaries of how low something can go and how high something can go. Great way to test a monitoring system because they've got these sub kicks.
Right.
It's like. So if you can hear, I think there's 4. So So if you can't hear one of them, then there's phase cancellation in your system. You can't hear one of those subs. So here I can hear all 4. Like we were next door and on the ATCs, and one of them I couldn't hear, and I'm like, oh, you got that's like 30 hertz there. And it's like, or
Yeah.
maybe it was like 60 hertz. And it was like, I was like, oh, yeah, you got some cancellation there because that sub's not as loud and each sub is as loud. So that's a really good one. And then another one I use is an old track for like folky stuff. I use the remaster of Helplessly Hoping because it has so many flaws in it. It's a really like clean, flawed recording, and like flaws like a recording flaws. Like you can hear like chairs and hear like guitars creaking. So like if you want to like reset your ears, it's a good one to listen to because you listen for not the music, you listen for everything else, and it really just it's a really good example of like a beautiful a beautiful sort of flawed recording.
All right. I actually just came up with a question. So, if somebody's starting off with mastering day one, let's say, right, and they're only in the box, when do you recommend or do you even suggest moving to analog? How would you, if you were starting off now, when do you, without knowing all this analog world,
Yeah.
when is that decision to be like, you know what, I'm gonna start analog?
So my views of that have changed a lot. I definitely think people can work out of the box and do great work. I think, I do personally think analog is essential for mastering. Because if you don't have any analog in mastering, you'll never know what it could have sounded like with analog. Certainly you can do a great job without it, but I think I've worked on enough music, obviously in 28 years, that I know some songs, if I didn't have analog, they just wouldn't have sounded as good as they do. They would sound good, just not as good as they would. It's like, but I'd always kind of felt that, well, if you don't have really great converters and then a really good complement of gear, like his mastering gear needs to be really, really high end, then it's just not worth it. But a couple things have come out recently that have changed that. One is like converters have gotten fairly inexpensive, like really great converters. So you can have really great conversion at a really inexpensive cost. And you can go to the hi-fi world for that too, because a lot of the hi-fi world has come down in price. Like the DA converters by Topping are like extremely high quality, and they can be really cheap. Their most expensive ones, like 1,400 Canadian, and that's like their top model, and it's incredible. It's the DA converter. And then AD converters. There's just a lot of AD converters out there that are built into interface systems that sound really good. But if you only got like one set of converters, and then we want to get one piece of gear, you'd get the master bus. The Neve master bus, because it kind of does everything.
Right.
It's brilliant. So when I use it, it's the only thing I use. I don't use it with other gear.
Yeah, right.
So in that situation, anybody could have just one master bus, and whenever they want to use analog, they'd use the master bus.
Right.
Because it has that analog sound.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't sound good through the master bus, then chances are you don't really need analog in it.
Yeah.
It's like, or your master's not going to benefit from analog. But it's one of those things that just, you can have a little bit of EQ. Yeah, a little bit of EQ, a little bit of compression.
What do you think the red and blue silk do?
I believe they're, again, I'm like you. I don't
Yeah,
I don't
it
know.
just
But it's
sounds
like
good, yeah.
it's like I just use it and I like it or not. But I believe they're harmonics of the transformer.
Right.
So I think the blue is like low harmonics, the red is high harmonics. So it's how much you push those harmonics. And of course, this is not. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Because I didn't really look into it. I don't read manuals. So I don't read manuals because for the most part, I don't really want to know what something's doing.
Right. You want to get
because I don't want to like influence myself whether I'm going to use it or not based on that.
Right.
I just want to know how it sounds.
Yeah, it's like some analog comes with manuals. Like I've checked one out recently where it gives you recalled like presets for vocals for guitars,
wow.
and there's actually
Okay.
pictures. Okay, set the attack to this, set that to
Yeah,
get that
that's
to
weird.
check it out. So like I wish, I'd rather just get there myself.
Yeah. So the Silk is, I used to have a device before the Master Bus, the tape one. I had it just for the Silk. I didn't really use the tape thing in it. I love the Silk. It's awesome. And the fact you use both blue and red at the same time in this one, I'd say I use it like, like maybe one in every like 10 to 20 songs. Like it's like, or 10 to 20 artists, I mean. It's like, I like it. Just a little bit goes a long way.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, it just does something that nothing else does.
Yeah, I'm still paying off mine.
Yeah.
It's a tough one.
Yeah.
But it's worth it.
They're not cheap, but
Yeah.
it's this desert island kind of thing.
Okay. Who's your favorite mastering engineer currently, and why do you look up to them? Or maybe as throughout your career, there's been sort of like a mentor to you.
There's Randy Merrill.
Okay.
Yeah. Out of Sterling. He did like the Taylor Swift and all that kind of stuff.
Cool,
His stuff
cool.
sounds really good. Like I think I've like, read interviews. I've read the most like up on people has been like Greg Calby and Chris Athens. Like Chris Athens is just like a guy. It's like he hasn't really given away a lot of his sort of secrets, but when he talks about mastering, I feel like I relate to the guy. Like, and I've had conversations with him before. He's a really good dude, and he actually mastered my album in 2009, but when he was working at Sterling. But he's just like, I think he just gets what mastering should be, and it's like, so I've taken a lot of cues from that. There's a lot of guys who are people who are, around my age or younger, and who've done like really good work. Like there's she's a friend, Maggie Luther she's out of California now, LA, and she's kind of on the up right now. And I haven't really heard her work as much because I haven't really sought it out, but I've sort of followed what she's been doing over the years since I've known her, since the pandemic, and yeah, she's really doing pretty cool stuff, and she cuts records too. So
Nice, cool.
yeah.
So when does a mastering engineer become like successful? Is it the number of streams? Is it like how do they come up on your map and be like, oh, they're doing well, I should pay attention to what
Yeah,
they're
well,
doing?
exactly. They're still in business. Full stop.
Yeah.
They're not like, mastering's not easy. It's like there's like the business of mastering's not easy. There's more competition every single day.
Yeah.
There's ebbs and flows, like ups and downs. It's like we've had years of growth. We've had single years that have been declines. It's like I think if you're still doing it and you can do it full time, I do feel like mastering full time is the litmus test. Like if you have to supplement your income from something other than mastering, then you probably got to do something different.
Interesting.
I change something up. Like it's like, a lot of people supplement their income for other reasons, right? But if you have to, then you're not really, let's say, successful as a mastering engineer, and not to say like I won't be at that situation at some point. Like, it's like I've been doing this 27 years and 17 years I haven't had to supplement my income. But, I'm humble enough to say that, there's more competition every day. It's getting harder to hustle business, and there may be years in the future, like maybe just another 10 years that I may not be able to do full time. It's like it's just there's no guarantee of business. So I look at engineers that are like, as far as success goes, the ones that started out and then are still doing it, and it's like, and if they're still doing it, it means they're dedicated to their craft and making some sacrifices for that. 'Cause I'll tell you, the first 20 years of mastering was a lot of sacrifice. I did not have any money in the bank. And it's crazy to think about now, that it's like,
So what do you think
I've only been
changed?
doing this 20, 27, 28 years.
Yeah.
So that I was kind of surfing with zero in the bank, it's like, just more competition. It's like, what happened changed for me?
Like what happened changed when you started to get paid enough where you can sustain yourself full time?
I lowered my my overall expenses. Like we stopped having a studio manager. Certain things like that, and I got busier. Definitely busier because I haven't raised my rates. But I see, like I said, nothing's guaranteed, and you got to hustle sometimes, and it's like, so I think with the 50th anniversary, of the studio. It's a big opportunity for me to hustle with the studio and try to get the studio in the next 5 years in different hands, maybe, so it can continue going for another 50 years.
Yeah.
Because I can't, I got to start slowing down at some point. So it's like,
Right.
I'm only 55, but I don't want to do this forever. Like, it's like,
Right.
I love mastering, but it's like there needs to be other people other than me supporting a large facility like this.
Yeah. So when you leave this facility, where do you hope Lacquer Channel to be in 25 to 50
I hope to
years?
be just like a freelance engineer out of Lacquer Channel, and I hope someone else is running it.
Cool.
Yeah, but I hope to be mastering till maybe 70.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to go much longer, but it's like another like 15 years would be good. So,
Cool.
I'll be 70 in 15 years.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
Yeah.
Last 15 years went by like this.
Yeah. And it only goes faster. But all right, so let's do something here. Okay. What is your secret technique for properly using a limiter?
Okay, so that's changed over the years. These days, a lot of people use multiple limiters.
Okay.
I don't. At the same time, that is.
Okay.
I don't. Instead, I use a combination of multi-band parallel compressor
Okay.
into a limiter in parallel,
Mm-hmm.
then into a wave shaper, which is also has a built-in clipper.
Interesting.
So, but the clipper you can adjust. It's just a zero clip. So, and there's no mystery in this. Like I use the inflator as the wave shaper.
Mm-hmm.
I like the inflator. So it's a combination of the three. I'm always mixing it up too, because sometimes I take all those out and use the newfangled Elevate.
Mm-hmm.
I got that from Buddy at Abbey Road, punk rock looking person.
Mm-hmm.
I forget their name, but awesome. They do awesome stuff. But yeah, the Elevate is kind of all in one thing. Because it has a limiter, a transient shaper, and a clipper.
Cool.
And so it's like
Let's check
it's like
that
the
out.
like wickedizer. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you
yeah.
put it on, and it makes everything sound amazing. But then sometimes you realize it's doing way too much. So
Yeah.
I only use it for stuff that really needs a bit of hype. So